Amara Johnson had long believed that travel was more than movement across borders. To her, it was proof of possibility. Every trip taken, every horizon crossed, carried echoes of a childhood shaped by scarcity yet lit by an unshakable belief that the world was bigger than the narrow streets of her Atlanta neighborhood. Her earliest memories of travel were not luxury suites or gleaming airports but the rumble of long bus rides, sticky vinyl seats, and the steady reminder from her mother, "Don't let anyone shrink your world." That mantra would guide her through universities, scholarships, and the corridors of power she eventually built for herself. By her mid-40s she had become Dr. Amara Johnson, founder of Global Horizons Travel Group, a company designed not merely to move people but to redefine how people of color could experience the world. No longer hesitant about accents or passports or stays in foreign hotels, her clients traveled with dignity and pride, knowing someone had fought for their right to feel at home wherever they went. Global Horizons booked packages worth hundreds of millions annually, employed thousands across continents, and had become a symbol of empowerment, but success never built walls high enough to block prejudice. Even at the peak of her career, Amara often found herself reminded that her accent, her skin, her very presence still triggered dismissive reactions. She knew this reality, yet nothing prepared her for how it unfolded one humid summer morning at New York's JFK International Airport. The terminal buzzed with the rhythm of departures. Screens flickered with flight numbers, the air was heavy with the scent of coffee and disinfectant, and the crowds moved in restless streams toward their gates. Amara wheeled her modest black carry-on to the first-class counter of a major airline. Her navy suit was tailored yet simple, her jewelry understated. She had always believed professionalism spoke louder than extravagance. In her briefcase rested documents outlining a partnership worth $950 million, an agreement that would expand her company's reach into Europe and redefine global tourism for underrepresented travelers. Her morning had been ordinary until the moment she stepped forward to the counter. The agent, a young woman with a sharp bob haircut and an expression honed by impatience, scanned Amara's passport without eye contact. Then she muttered something under her breath. Amara leaned forward politely and asked her to repeat it. Instead of clarifying, the agent raised her voice in a mocking tone, exaggerating Amara's Nigerian-American lilt into something cartoonish. The air shifted. A couple behind Amara chuckled, others turned to stare, and a ripple of discomfort spread through the line. The sting was sharp, as though her years of achievement had evaporated in an instant. Here she stood, a woman who had lectured at universities, signed international deals, and created jobs for thousands, yet reduced to the butt of a joke about the very sound of her voice. The agent continued, questioning her documents with veiled suspicion, suggesting her dual citizenship might be confusing, hinting that perhaps her first-class ticket was an error. Amara's spine stiffened. The humiliation was public, deliberate, and layered with the weight of history. She had seen it before, authority used not to serve but to diminish. The passengers behind her shifted between impatience and unease. Phones tilted subtly upward, some recording, others pretending not to. Amara knew this crossroads well: stay silent to preserve her composure, or respond in a way that could reshape the outcome entirely. She asked calmly for a supervisor. The agent rolled her eyes, as though Amara's request was petty rather than necessary. Minutes passed, the line grew restless, and finally a supervisor appeared. His words dripped with dismissal. "It was," he said, "a misunderstanding. She was welcome to board." No apology, no recognition of harm, just the suggestion that she move along quietly, but harm had been done. Dignity stripped in public does not reattach with a supervisor's brush-off. As Amara walked toward security, her mind churned. This was not about her alone. She represented a company, a movement, a belief that travelers of color could claim the world without fear of mockery. Silence would betray more than herself. By the time her plane lifted off toward Geneva, the incident had already leapt beyond the terminal. Video clips spread across social platforms. The hashtag accent is not an insult began trending within hours, fueled by outraged travelers recounting their own stories of discrimination. Some clips showed Amara standing dignified as the agent mimicked her. Others captured the restless crowd, the laughter, the dismissal. When she landed, her phone was flooded with messages from staff, friends, and media outlets. She could have ignored it, focusing solely on her billion-dollar deal, but she chose differently. Standing before a hall of European investors the next day, she delivered a keynote unlike the one she had prepared. She recounted the incident, not for sympathy but as living proof of why global horizons existed. Her voice was steady, clear, commanding. She spoke of how racism travels as easily as luggage, how humiliation at a counter or gate can shape entire perceptions of safety, and how dignity is as essential to tourism as planes or hotels. She reminded them that respect is not optional, it is the foundation of trust. The hall erupted into a standing ovation. By the close of that day, she signed the $950 million partnership agreement. The fallout for the airline was immediate. Videos replayed endlessly on news outlets. Corporations cut ties, governments questioned contracts, and within a week the agent was terminated. Yet the damage was irreversible. What the airline lost overnight was not just revenue but credibility, sacrificed at the altar of arrogance. Back in Atlanta weeks later, Amara stood in her office overlooking a map dotted with pins representing her company's presence around the globe. She reflected on how fragile dignity can be and how powerful its defense becomes. She knew the incident was not a personal victory but a collective reminder: prejudice carries a cost. The accent mocked that morning was the same accent that had sung lullabies, carried histories, and fueled resilience across generations. Communities rallied not because she was wealthy but because her experience mirrored theirs. Airlines and agencies revised training, universities added her story to ethics courses, and travelers worldwide demanded more respect. Yet beneath the headlines the lesson remained stark: the cost of racism is never just financial. It erodes humanity, trust, and possibility. Her mother's words echoed once more: don't let anyone shrink your world. Amara had not, and because of her, countless others would not either. The question lingers still: how many worlds are we shrinking each time we laugh, dismiss, or ridicule someone simply for sounding different? Sometimes the smallest act of cruelty unleashes consequences larger than anyone can imagine.